I don't like being late, but the truth is that I had to chair a committee meeting of the Airport Advisory Committee. And those of you who live here or who fly in and out of here know what a crucial situation that is and what a mess we are in right now. So it was indispensable that meeting began at 10:30, but it was not going to finish till now. It just finished. I've just had a few words to the press there and come straight from the airport to you. So please forgive me for the delay, but I'm very glad that you were able to have your inauguration and that you're all set to have your district convention. I have to say that in thinking about what I would say to you all today, it did strike me that veterinary science is an area that not only do I not know much about, but I think it's really an area which has not received the importance that it deserves from the general public, from the informed newspaper reading public as well. Indeed, I would regret to note that there has been no public announcement in the papers of this convention. I don't think there's anyone here from the press to report what is being said. And I think it's a shame because obviously, particularly in our state, we should be conscious of the great importance of the role that you are all playing. The relationship of human society with animals goes back to the dawn of civilization itself. And I would further argue that in our own culture, respect for all life, including animal life, is central to our perception of the world around us. The relationship of human beings and animals, of course, has various kinds of connotations. It has obvious economic implications, it has health implications, and as I implied earlier, it goes into cultural questions as well. The economic ones are the obvious ones for an MP to address, so I'll do it briefly, which is that the animal kingdom produces, of course, a great amount of economic benefit to human beings. Livestock is an economic resource. You are probably aware that India has the world's largest livestock population, and therefore, in a country where still almost 70% of our population, about 67% of our population, is dependent on agriculture and on rural living, livestock is the lifeblood of their survival. And so for 2/3 of our country at the very least, it is absolutely indispensable to ensure that that animals are healthy and well looked after, and that the rural economy of our country continues to be intertwined with the maintenance of healthy livestock is an obvious statement. There again, without you, that would not be possible, and that is the first and most obvious point. I mentioned human health as a second area. I would say that our health depends, of course, on the health of livestock, a simple thing like the milk we drink, but also the other life forms with which animals come into contact. We know that one of the rules of the animal kingdom is how some of the pests that are most harmful to humanity are consumed by other living beings, which in turn keeps us healthy and safe. And that balance in the animal kingdom, which is maintained thanks to your healthy efforts, is also part of the survival of humanity. In addition, the quality of meat, quality of milk, I'm vegetarian myself, so I'll speak more about milk than meat, is of crucial importance to public health. And of course, we all know about the risk of the spreading of disease from animals to human beings. You all remember the big scare in Europe about mad cow disease. I think there was a cartoon showing one cow talking to another cow and saying, but in the long run, aren't we all mad? Yeah, we're going to go off and be executed. But nonetheless, this is an important issue, and in our country, we all know that the dread disease of H1N1, swine flu, is said to have come from animals first. And not too long ago, was it 2 or 3 years ago, we also had the case of bird flu. So the human beings are not immune to viruses that come from animals. And so healthy animals are also a guarantee of healthy human beings. Then I mentioned the cultural effects, and that I think we shouldn't forget about, because obviously the treatment of animals by human beings reflects a lot about our cultural practices. Animals are often ill-treated, and we can have so many examples. The way in which draft bullocks are often abused by farmers, the way in which pets, particularly stray dogs, are treated in the city, and elsewhere, there are reported cases of animals being summarily executed, just caught, rounded up and killed without any regard for the life that they represent. There is the use of animals in research laboratories. They also used the abuse of animals in movies until finally the movie industry woke up, and now all the movies carry a little notice saying that no animals were harmed in this production. The fact is that all of this is a reflection of not man's inhumanity to man, which is the old cliche, but man's inhumanity to animals. We know that there are bodies like the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. There's other bodies which have a history of perhaps 100 years or less, but ancient India has a history of thousands of years of respecting the sanctity of all living beings. And I would say that the manner in which a society or a culture treats its animals, the most helpless beings on the planet, bears a real reflection of the kind of society we are. A society that is cruel to animals will also be cruel to human beings. And I do believe that we often reveal the worst of ourselves in the way in which we treat others. So that the more humane societies are the ones that also treat animals humanely. And I would say in that yardstick we have probably lapsed from the standards we have traditionally attained thousands of years ago in our culture. For this reason, I would say that veterinarians have a crucial role to play across the board in economic, health and cultural issues. That your contribution is nothing less than a contribution to national development. But at the same time, I have to say that you have some advantages also, because you, as veterinarian doctors, have one great advantage over doctors who treat human beings. Because unlike most human beings, animals don't pretend to be ailing. They don't have imaginary complaints. They don't have needless fears of illness. Whenever an animal is ill, their ill health is real. It's not the result of some flaws in the character that they've avoided mending. It's not a result of a desire not to do any work today that they suddenly pretend to be sick. You don't have to tell animals to stop smoking, avoid alcohol, start exercising, and they probably get too much exercise beforehand. So yeah, there you have an advantage that doctors who are treating human patients don't have. But anyway, jokes apart, I'm very happy that you are all there. I'm glad to know about your organization. I'm happy that the veterinarians of Kerala are working in such a highly professional manner, that you are keeping abreast of the latest practices and methods in the field. I received some literature preparing for this meeting, and I was told about your newsletter, Vets in Touch, covering the latest developments in the field. I heard about your journal, JIVA, lovely acronym, the Journal of the Indian Veterinary Association, with each issue dedicated to a special topic, like animal husbandry or veterinary science. And I'm also particularly pleased to discover that you have your own website at jivaonline.net. Here is a way that you can reach out beyond Kerala, beyond India, and indeed to vets around the world to express their thoughts, views, and opinions on your internet message board. And I gather it's designed up to international standards, and that's extremely important. I would use that to make one more comment about modern technology, which is that you should also prepare yourselves to take advantage of not just internet technology, but also mobile telephone technology. I'm not only referring to the fact that you can interrupt a boring speech by taking a phone call, but also the fact that when people are in remote rural areas, for example, dealing with a veterinary crisis, and you don't have a vet around, you should be able to set up an effective network. Because in pretty much any village, even a poor farmer can lay access to a mobile phone. If they can call a network of vets and say, look, my cow is having this difficulty in giving birth to a calf, what do I do? And you can have a consultation by telephone. I suspect you can use mobile technology both to save animal lives, to save the economic well-being of the people who are asking for help, but also, frankly, to expand your own client base and give yourselves, I would say, even further avenues for professional expansion and advancement. Telemedicine is absolutely the way that human doctors are already going, and I see no reason why you shouldn't do that for veterinary medicine as well. I think it's clear that in Kerala you have a unique challenge as vets because the limited geographical area of the state does call upon you to stress quality over quantity much more so than any other state of the country. But that makes your role all the more important. And it's in acknowledging your role and in congratulating you for the extremely valuable work that you're doing for our society that I will end my words today. I wish you a very successful convention. All the best. Jai Hind.